Alright guys, what are we talking about today? This is not going to be a testing video or anything like that, but I did want to talk about this before I send it back and definitely get to why it's going back. I haven't bought many budget knives in a long time. Been hearing a lot of good about CJRB. I like the design of the Feldspar. Look like a decent design. That I do like. And the blade geometry on this one, I did measure it. It is 15 thousandths all the way up. So that about covers it for the good on this. So what are some of the problems I had that I noticed right away out of the box? The blade is laying all up on the liner. Something else I noticed right away, and I am not a lefty, but the pocket clip screw is not in all the way. And when I got a Torx to try and tighten it up, the reason why it's not in all the way is because that is as far in as it will possibly go. I don't know if it's stripped, but I know when it hits this point, it will spin the entire standoff and screw on the opposing side. That does leave the pocket clip loose. It moves all over the place. Some other things I noticed. Once I noticed that, I started looking it over much closer. It has some weird white marks in the natural G10. You cannot feel them. I can only assume that was done, or it left the factory that way as well. And a couple other big problems with this. There is a ton of blade play, and yes, that is a lot of pivot lash. Another problem I had with this is it's a total fail at its primary job. This thing came dull. I mean dull, like it tears printer paper. I mean, it's dull. Also, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to catch on camera, but up here in this area, there is a recurve from about here to the tip. Not quite sure how you put a recurve in there, but it definitely has a recurve. If you lay it down on a flat edge, you can see quite a bit of light underneath it. So, to their credit, I did contact them, and I can return this for a replacement. The problem is, I've already paid $37 for this, and I'm not paying another $8.30 to send it back when I can return it to where I purchased it for free. So, not putting any more money into this. And the only other budget knife that I've purchased, probably in the last 9 or 10 months, is this QSP Penguin. It is perfectly centered. No problems with the clip being tight. It does not have blade play. And if it does have pivot lash, it is so minor that I can't even say for sure that that's what it has. I did get this on drop. It was $20 at that particular time. I believe now they're about $29, I think, when I looked everywhere else. But just a better built knife in every way over this. Now, I have heard a few other people complain. Quite a lot of people have said theirs did not come centered. I mean, normally I wouldn't care, but this is, you know, it's not opening and closing without rubbing on that liner. On top of that, the Knife Whisperer had a few problems with his Feldspar. His has excessive pivot lash as well. I don't know about the other things on his, but for what this costs, I'm just not seeing all the good everyone's talking about. This is my first experience with CJRB. I will not be purchasing any more of their stuff. If one can get out like this, I'm not the only one that got one with all kinds of problems. Especially when I haven't heard of people having a lot of problems with QSP. Just as an example, I have tons of, over the years, Kershaws in the $20 to $30 range that did not have issues like this. I mean, I still have a couple of Kershaws, one that was $17 and one that was like $15, and neither one of them have pivot lash like this. So I'm sure someone's going to say it down in the comments. Yes, I did already try to tighten that up. It does not tighten up. Had I been a lefty, I wouldn't have been able to move the pocket clip. And as far as the pivot goes, the only problem is if you tighten this up, the blade goes from rubbing on this side to rubbing on the opposite side. And that is before you get all the blade play out of it. So, not impressed. Just wanted to put that out there. Yes, they did offer to replace it. No, I'm not putting another $8 and change into an already $37 knife because it should never left this way to begin with. I will say I do have an Artisan premium knife in on loan for testing. It is titanium S35VN, and it has every bit as much pivot lash that this knife does. So I don't know if that's across the board on their stuff or not, but keep seeing all the good about it, and I'm not seeing it. So that's all I have for this. I'm definitely not giving them another chance. Yeah, maybe I should, but it's my money. I'm not wasting it on something like this. That's all I have. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.